Well, this car is a Lister. Listers were made over in England. They made 30-something of them. No one knows exactly how many, to be quite honest with you. The ones that came to America had Chevy engines, and for the most part, the ones over in England had Jaguar engines. These cars came in two body types. One was an Obly, and the other one was a Costin. This is a Costin. Costin made the bodies for the C-types and the D-types, and Lister used to work for Jaguar. So these cars look quite a bit like a C-type or a D-type Jaguar. You know, it's interesting, this car is, as I said, it's from the 50s. And back then, the racetracks were quite a bit like driving on a road. And this track isn't really, that's why they call them road courses. This track isn't quite like the older tracks. It's more challenging, I guess, for Formula One cars. So this car takes a little bit of time to figure out how to get around a track like this. It's some other tracks are easier for this car, but that said, it's, once you figure it out, it's just great to be in this car, and this is an amazing track. I love it. People ask me what's the great thing about driving a vintage car, and I said, well, if you like collecting cars and you collect a vintage race car, you'll never really understand what that car is all about until you take it to a track and you race it. And the better you get and the closer you can get to the limit, the greater you can really understand the car and really appreciate it. Because even though these cars are old, they're amazing race cars, and to really experience them it's a great treat. Well, when I was young, I raced motocross in Europe, and I was sponsored by a track where they used to do car races. And they also had a motocross track. So I had a garage on pit lane, and I got to watch all the races. And even back then, they were doing vintage races with Ferraris and stuff. So my whole life, I kind of, been around these cars. Back when I was a kid, it was a lot cheaper to do motocross and say, have a Ferrari or something. But something I've been around forever. And now that I'm getting older, I'm glad to be off a motorcycle and in a car. It's a lot safer.